Now it's time for the best part of school, Snow and Tell. Hey everybody, so to celebrate the holiday season, I thought we would make some snowflakes. I'm going to show you how to make two different types. We're going to be looking at some simple four-sided snowflakes like this, and we're going to have some more complicated six-sided snowflakes. The type you make is up to you. Let's take a look at our supplies. Pretty simple today. We're going to need some paper and some scissors. Probably also need some hands. They're helpful. Once you get all your stuff together, we can get started. Okay guys, so the very first type of snowflake we're going to make is the four-sided snowflake. It's a little bit simpler than the six-sided snowflake, and it's a good starting point if you're just learning how to do this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of paper and we're going to turn it into a square. To do that, we are going to take one corner of the paper and we are going to fold it up and line it up with the other edge of the paper, just like this. So we should end up with this triangle here. I'm going to fold that down. Nice and flat. There we go. So you should end up with something like that. The next thing we need to do is cut off this rectangle right here. So we're going to take our skizzers, also known as scissors for most normal people. We're going to just chop off this rectangle real fast. Alright, save this for later. We got a triangle. Our next step is to take this triangle and just fold him in half. So I'm going to put my finger right here in the middle. I'm just going to take one side and fold him over to the other side, just like this. Then we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to take it and we're going to fold it in half. So we should end up with a much smaller triangle. Once we have this, we're ready to start cutting out our snowflake patterns. So we can cut on any edge, we can cut out any corner. However, we need to be very careful that we do not cut off an entire side. If you do that, this whole thing's going to fall apart. So very carefully, we're going to take our scissors and we're just going to cut out some random interesting shapes. So you could have kind of curvy lines, you turn those into points. You could cut out some round shapes. You could maybe, snip a corner very carefully. Just kind of have fun with it. Figure out new ways you can cut things out. Always make sure that you're leaving some edges attached. Where that original triangle was, make sure you still have some of those sides attached. You don't chop those off. Again, stopping short, not cutting off the whole side. Maybe nipping this corner a little bit. Woo! Sometimes your paper will explode on you. That's okay. Let's put something over here. Again, being very careful to leave it attached. Not cutting off the entire side. We can cut out pieces of the sides, but not the whole side. And maybe one more shape right here. Alright, so when you've cut out everything that you want to cut out on your snowflake, you're probably going to end up with a strange looking shape like this. Your last step is to unfold this thing to see what you've made. Be very careful that you don't rip it, because it's going to be very, very fragile. It's missing a lot of parts here. Kind of got to flatten it out, open it up, and you should have a snowflake. So a six-sided snowflake is very similar to the four-sided. It's got a couple of extra folds, but it's not super complicated. Real snowflakes actually have 6 sides, so if you're trying to do something that's a little more accurate, this is the way to go. We're going to start the exact same way we did with the four-sided snowflake. We're going to take the corner, and we're going to fold it up to meet the other edge. Just like that. There we go. And we're going to cut off this rectangle over on this other side. Breaking out our scissors. There we go. Use that as a bookmark. All right. Now we have a triangle. We're going to take this triangle and we are going to fold it in half. Just like this. Folding it in half. Now, here's where it gets a little strange. We're going to take this smaller triangle and we're going to fold it into thirds, which means we're going to fold it up. We're not going to go all the way to the other edge. We're just going to go about that far. Then we're going to take this side and we're going to fold him over the other way. Kind of like that. So you should have something that looks like that. We're going to flip him over and you'll see that you have a straight line right here. What we're going to do is we are going to cut from this corner right here down at an angle. So it's going to be a cut that goes sort of along a line like this. Okay? This is how we're going to trim it. Right there. So from that corner right there down across at an angle like that. So back to the scissors. There we go. Hear that? And from here, we're ready to start cut out our snowflake shapes. So I'm going to just start trimming anything you think looks cool. Maybe take off a corner. Maybe cut into the side. Let's kind of make it up as we go along. I think I'll maybe chop off this corner and we'll be done. Just like the four-sided snowflake, you gotta make sure that you are not cutting off an entire edge. So I've still got a fold here that I haven't cut off, and right here, right here, right here. There are places where it's still attached. Alright, so once you get all your parts cut out, we can unfold this and see what we've come up with. Again, it's going to be very delicate, so take your time, unfold it gently. This one's going to look pretty cool. And here we have a six-sided snowflake. Well, there you have it, folks. That's how we make a snowflake. I want to see a blizzard in our art gallery, so make sure you post a picture of your work.